Okay, so we're back at the agro domes, which is Leslie's terrain, and Benedict is already worried. This decontamination chamber seems to be working. Okay, so I'm all decontaminated up. So well, that's a good sign to see that something is oh. Now there is a rare site here on Epsilon Eridani B. This outer dome was used for testing research for species. It was originally a much more structured lab-like environment, but over the years, Ms. Baradwaj transformed it into a garden. She and I debated the merits of such an environment. She stated that having a garden wasn't just about the science, it was about something more human. I regret that I did not fully understand it at the time. I think definitely that is something, you know, humans need, is nature, gardens, green. I mean, certainly one of the reasons I don't really enjoy LA a lot every time I go there is because I find it so concrete and, you know, there's not much nature there, which is infuriating because I know it's surrounded by national parks that I would love to go and visit. I visited them when I was very young and I'd love to go back and visit them again. Now let's see what the dome is like. Okay, so not so nice here. A high concentration of foreign air particles. Okay, the west side. What does this say though? A portable analyzer. Not much use though. Well, I guess we go straight into the west entrance. What do we got here? Research papers. Miss Hainsworth research. They indicate she was combining trace amounts of toxin with other elements. She was trying to run more experiments at once than Miss Baradwaj approved to in an attempt to save time. Tests progressing faster than expected, she wrote. Do I know what a brophyte is? Not at all. Land plants without vascular systems. Like moss, okay. They are trying to isolate which plants are most accessible to carrying the toxin to understand how it traveled. Okay, so she was focused on moss. So we need to finish her research. Okay. Well, we found one in the lobby. So there we go. Job done. Oh, who's this? Is this Hainsworth? Oh, no. Yeah, Hainsworth. Oh, so she had osteoporosis. My mom's got osteoporosis, actually. And so did my grandmother. So there's probably a highly chance that I'm going to get it. It appears Miss Hainsworth used her exo braces to regain mobility as her legs were severely affected. Okay. I finally confronted Baradwaj about her inability to lead with direction. We had a pretty heated argument. I'll be honest, I didn't think the chief had it in her. She clung to the hopeless belief that the team would see things through. I thought she would never give up, but after a while she came back and told me she thought I might be right. After all this time! But she made me agree not to tell the rest of the team of her acquiescence, to not disrupt her precious ecosystem. So I've got them using the portable analyzer to test our newly grown samples. Okay, well, the analyzer's just in the other room, my friend. But I'm going to check all this stuff too. So here's some data. Okay, so they're talking about the argument Ashley had. I can't believe you did it. So so she was doing a separate research plan to do with the mosses. Okay, so I guess that just shows a little bit more of the insubordination going on here. The plant has mutated. So these must all be like toxic plants then. What does that one have? I mean, this is cool. I kind of want to set some plants up like that in my house. Right, take this. So it's already got her data. And yeah, so maybe I can protect your food supply for the journey home. Good Star Trek film, that, Journey Home. One of my guilty pleasures in life. Okay, so Benedict wants me to set up the analyzer. So what we need is find samples. Okay, we need moss and stuff. We need 3 mossy things, mossy stone to scan. So things like this, I guess. Common peat moss. So that's a good start. I actually had a friend come over yesterday because I've got loads of apple and pear trees in my garden. And way too much that I know kind of how to deal with. And she's actually just leased an orchard and a cider press. So she's setting up her own cider pressing business thing, and was looking for more apples and fruit to turn into stuff. So yeah, in a bit I'm gonna get some. Well, she's gonna make me pear juice and apple juice because obviously I don't drink alcohol. But I really like the idea that I've, you know, given her fruit from my garden that I've grown, and yeah, she's gonna be able to use it to make some cool stuff. Nature, love it. So we've got all the moss, so we want to go to the northern lab now. So I guess we're looking for data cards. So this is from Zurikowski, who was working with Ashley, the traitor. No conclusive results. No, I don't know what that is. No flowers. Okay, so ferns and horsetails. So I guess, yeah, we're completing everybody's research for them. I mean, you know, it seems pretty simple to me. I mean, I feel like if they just tried a little harder, then they could have, you know, finished the research for themselves. Oh, what's the photograph of? So the dome stuff. In it is Leslie, Ashley, Florent Marchand, Mr. Zurikowski, and Matsuko Bradley. He's looking at Ms. Bradley. What do you think he's doing in this? Maybe he likes her? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? There's probably plenty of photos from my youth of me looking longingly at friends. Right, let's scan some ferns. That looks like a fern. Cristata. Cristata. You know, this is why I was never going to be a scientist. Too many words for my dyslexic brain to say. Equistum arvens. Ah, I was going to say, equus is Latin for horse. So, yeah, is there a horse in that? Turns out there is. Is that a fern? No. I bet you fruit is going to be the next thing. That plum tree is looking good for a scanning. Oh, this one looks good. Here we go. Scan that. Cibotium. Grow up, Kim. Grow up. Such a child. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so that's ferns done. I'm gonna come back to scan your plums. Extensive notes, and these are by Bradley. No real recorded success, so they couldn't quite find the toxin either. Just tell me. Really? So these are, okay, trees, crops, and deciduous plants. Really, Benedict? Really? Just love making me feel dumb. Okay, data card. So there was a room in the other one that we could read with. A room in the other... What was I just saying there? That's what happens when you're, like, distracted and you're trying to talk. You just end up talking goo. There was a terminal in the other room that we can use. Words, Kim. Okay. Research document backups. Matt Brad. So that was Matsuko's notes. Research could be going better. Everyone's under the gun. Ashley's pushing harder every day. We know the stakes, but she still flexes her muscles. I get the sense that she has more than just survival riding on this new line of experiments. She has pride and a need to prove she was right. I don't really know to whom. Dale has been getting a little close lately. Sometimes I feel at ease when we do relax together, but then I'll suddenly feel as if I'm the experiment. He's sweet, but a little intense. He's an excellent geneticist, though, and we need him now more than ever. Okay. Scanning. Then a tree. Oh, it's apples. Cider apples, maybe? Let's scan that. Oh, maize. Okay. Cool. What else we got? I mean, that's tree, but I think it's all ferny. Ferny? Mossy. A mossy tree. That reminds me, actually, I need to cut down one of the pear trees. My previous owner planted it in a really tiny space, and as a result, it's getting quite sick and not doing so well. Beans. Okay. Okay, so with that, I hope we have better success than the agro dome's crew did. It might take me a few days, but that's something. I don't have a few days, damn it. I can only hope we make great use of the work that went on here. Why can't we stay here? It's nice here. Yeah, it would be lovely if we could just stay in this lovely green space and just move like our bed here and all that. Hey, Leslie. So you're trying some new strains of vegetables. A whole lot the usual. The usual. Just surviving. Your garden's looking awesome, by the way. You loved it so much. I can tell. When those vines began to develop and ruin everything, the agro dome labs were thoroughly corrupted. It took a while longer before the research dome became affected. Without access to the main grow dome and its equipment, we were forced to use what we had on hand, but the vines hadn't reached the garden yet, so we had a bit more time. What did I find? I found a team photo. The way Dale was looking at Matsuko. Creepy, right? An excellent researcher. I think Hudson Cartier loved him for all the positions. Loved him for the position. He was studious, dedicated, and considered him pretty low maintenance. It was strictly about his work, okay. Matsuko was beautiful and very smart. I guess she was the one that got through to him, woke him up, so to speak. Yeah, I suppose. Maybe it was unprofessional, but even Hudson Cartier understood that relationships were key to the survival of the colony. That they are. Did I find anything? Ashley? I mean, it was highly unlikely Ashley was going to be alive, really. You know, really think about that one. How do I do it? I just have to? You just have to put one foot in front of the other and keep moving? What else did I find? More plant research. I remember how difficult it was to get the results fast enough. That was the main point of contention between Ashley and me. I was adamant that there needed to be proper protocols, especially since we were getting one last good chance to do something. She thought that speed was more important. Another person thought that speed was important, and that is James Kirk's son in Star Trek Genesis, which I'm still going to go on about that because there is a lot of similarities between the two. The one thing about our team that I always noticed was that we were all so very different. Different kinds of families, personalities. We were like a garden, our own little ecosystem. I often think that there's a good comparison between social order and ecosystems. Maybe I was the problem. I could never create the balance that we needed to succeed. I think you're wrong. It feels like I was the one who didn't make it all work. No, you just had some assholes on your team. That's pretty much that. Am I good to go? What am I going to go do? I'm going to travel. I always want to travel. It's what I want to do now. I just want to travel, see the world. Psych eval. So when we got back, we were due for psych evaluations, debriefing. Who knows what? Well, I think they'll be amazed that I'm actually alive, for one thing. Even if I am alive, I don't know if I am. It's almost like you'll be returning from the dead. Just like, what's his face from The Martian? What would you like me to do? Find out what happened between Matsuko and Dale. They were bonking. They were absolutely bonking. Right, I'm gonna go sleep now. Have fun in your garden. Aw, she's lovely. I really like Leslie. It's a shame Benedict's gonna get in the way. Day 10. Did I hear the storm last night? I sure did. It was very loud. So there'll be another one in 5 days. Hopefully, we won't be here in 5 days. I have some good news. So do we want the good news or the bad news? Let's start with the bad news. This recurring storm may make our eventual escape difficult. What isn't difficult about this situation? I think it's time for some drastic steps. I want you to go to the terraforming fields today. I don't think you've ever been there before. It's an installation that controls the ground and the orbital terraforming units, and it's still operational. I think it's time to shut it down. The atmosphere is very unstable and the terraforming is only making it worse at this point. So okay, I'm on it. Let's do it. Okay, so here we are at the terraforming fields. Seems kind of irresponsible to leave these running while everything else is screwed up. So the last crew team were Superintendent Ryan Payton and Engineer David Affan. They rarely got along. Complaints. Okay, so this place looks totally bollocks, as does everything else. This is guidance equipment, which allowed the crew to manipulate terraforming nodes. Why are you afraid? I mean, yes, turn it off. You wanted me to turn it off, so I'm turning it all off. Did that turn off? It didn't. Yeah, I've already shut that turn. It looked like it was still on there. What else is there? Surface control room. Oh. So maybe this is the two superintendents. Hello, who are you? So this is Ryan Payton. He died from inhaling something poisonous. His lungs were affected by whatever toxins are in the air, likely a substance from the dangerous atmosphere outside. And this is probably his sparring partner, Affan. His remains appear very withered. His vascular system was attacked by some foreign body. So I guess he got sick, he got poisoned. Is that your last supper? A colorful cake, unless you poisoned each other. Happy birthday, David. Aww. They both died the same way. For them, it would have been like going to sleep. Oh my god, so they killed each other, themselves. Perhaps this meeting was a way for them to resolve their differences before the end. How tragic. Man, nothing like a suicide pact to take yourself out. Now, I'm not in the business of believing it's going to be as simple as just hitting a few switches and then getting out. Oh, okay. This is not the ideal scenario, but it's the best we can manage. Well, I guess we better go home. With that out of the way, we need to find a way of finding what we need for the escape ship. Okay, so... Oh! We get another date. Okay, well, it looks like we got a... who would we like to go with? I'd quite like to go with... Do you know what, actually, I'd quite like to go on a date with Jean. He definitely intrigued me the most in this chapter. Bonjour, Jean. I knew it was going to get involved, like mountains and stuff. Yes, I did. Maybe, I don't know. I do like clouds. I used to know a lot about them. About their shapes and stuff like that. I love these clouds' weird shape the most, like a pile of fluffy bath mats or something. When air rolls over a place like the mountains and condenses in a spot, it forms these lenticular clouds. My dad knows a lot about clouds, and that's because he does a lot of sailing, so he needs to know what the clouds are telling him. What do they... Oh god, do they change... Oh god, do they... I'm gonna say change colour. No, of course not. I failed. What do? Do they make sounds? They probably stay in one place, actually. I know you had to shut down the terraforming engine. What did I think about that? Makes sense. I mean, I don't really know why we're still terraforming a planet that's bollocksed. I don't really know why it's still working. Let's chat about something else. Okay. Do I regret my time here on the colony? I'm glad, I guess. I mean, I've no idea who I was on this colony. Unless maybe I'm Pierre. Ooh, we did important work. I hope your return to Earth will be to your benefit, not just to Hudson Cartier, but for everybody. Well, it will certainly teach them how not to do it again. I lost sight of that, was really worried about my own personal problems when the situation was much bigger than me. Even with a team to manage and not so much research, I got caught up thinking about myself. Does that make me a bad person? No, I don't think so. Maybe it's selfish, but I'm relieved to hear you say that. The AI only told me so much when it recreated me, and I don't think we've ever met before or for very long. I don't know. I have no idea. What was my specialty? I probably like to be a scientist, maybe? Sure. I have no idea who I am. Who am I? I was in that mining facility or underground for so long. If the colony had succeeded, future generations might have been able to see this, but right here on this planet. So much hard work and all for nothing. Well, nothing's ever all for nothing. There'll be ways to salvage this and learn from it. Oh, he's been thinking. Do you ever feel that way? I don't know. I'm not sure. You can't always look to the past. It's like Daenerys says, if I look back, I am lost. See, this is the second time we've been here like this in one of these special No. I was with Leslie first. Thank you. Oh dear. Oh god. I've shut him down. Nice typo there. Yeah, keep your cool, and until next. Oh god, I've probably upset him now. Sorry, Jean. Sorry, I'm a bad date.